You can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Jaqueline Amorim takes on Polyana Viana this Saturday at UFC Fight Night Kansas City. And this is a really fun fight in women's strawweight. Jaqueline Amorim, things didn't go her way in her UFC debut against Sam Hughes, which I can excuse. Sam Hughes is very underrated. But since then has gone on a 3-fight winning streak, all finishes in the UFC. Last fought in September of 2024 against Vanessa Demopoulos. Taking on Polyana Viana, 13-7. Hasn't fought in a while, hasn't fought since January of 2024. Currently on a 2-fight losing streak by finish to Jillian Robertson by strikes from mount and Yasmin Lucindo by arm triangle choke. Again, two very high level fighters, so hard to really hold that against her. Jaqueline Amorim, she's got very good elite level jiu-jitsu. No-gi and gi world champion. A lot of finishing potential from top and bottom. Can control you on the ground, beat you up there, win by ground and pound. We saw that in her fight with Montserrat Conejo Ruiz. Absolutely dominated her on the ground, and that's kind of how I see this fight going, honestly. Polyana Viana, she's scrappy. She's got really good strikes on the feet. Very technical. The way that she knocked out Jinyu Fry, I think her name is, threw a beautiful combination, put her out cold, kind of woke her up a few times on the ground, but looked really good in that fight. But then against Yasmin Lucindo and Jillian Robertson, she can get taken down and controlled and kind of held there. She's not the strongest, most physical fighter in the division. I think Polyana Viana is going to be the bigger, stronger fighter, is going to be able to get her takedowns and beat her up on the ground or get the submission. But I looked through Polyana Viana's career, and she's lost to Tabitha Ricci, Veronica Hardy, JJ Aldrich. Like, these are they're not terrible fighters. They're actually really good fighters. But then her wins, she only has wins over very bottom barrel opponents in the UFC, and she hasn't won since November of 2022. Hasn't fought in a year and a half on a 2-fight losing streak. Just doesn't have any real momentum going on. She's a jiu-jitsu black belt herself, but again, she's getting finished a lot. Arm bar, arm triangle choke, ground strikes from back mount from Jillian Robertson because she just couldn't get away from her, couldn't get to a defensive position. I just feel like Amorim's the next level. I think she's better than all of these ladies on the ground that she's fought so far. Like I said, I think she'll be able to get the takedowns easily, and if not, pull guard and work from there. But I do think that Polyana Viana, I think she's the better striker, and if I felt like she had better takedown defense, I'd be more willing to take her in this fight. But it seems like every fight, there's multiple takedowns being got on her, and she's getting finished on the ground or just controlled enough to lose. And I look at Jaqueline Amorim. Her only loss was to Sam Hughes, but it was her UFC debut. She was going against Sam Hughes, who's got really good wrestling and elite level cardio. The girl never stops. She's very well rounded. She's always putting pressure on you. And Jaqueline Amorim, she had never gone past the first round. This was her first fight that went past the first round against Sam Hughes, who's very good, has a lot of high level experience. It was Amorim's UFC debut. She looked really bad in that fight though, past round 2. Panic shooting takedowns, labored punches, but I just feel like that was just a bad showing and adrenaline dump for her in her UFC debut, and I don't feel like Viana can push that type of pace against Jaqueline Amorim without Amorim being able to get her takedowns and kind of getting a breather and working her game from top position. So I'm gonna go with Amorim. If Polyana Viana, if she was a little bit stronger, had some better takedown defense, I could see her winning enough rounds or being able to piece up Amorim on the feet, because she's got okay striking, but she's nowhere near an elite level striker. And I think in a straight up kickboxing match, she beats up Amorim. But Amorim, she's 5'3" with a 68-inch reach, taking on Polyana Viana, who's 5'5" with a 67-inch reach. So she is going to have a reach advantage. So I would not be shocked if she gets the KO in this fight against Amorim, honestly, because that last performance that she had, not the last one, but her performance against Sam Hughes, she was tired, but she wasn't digging deep, and that makes me wonder if things aren't going her way, she's not getting her takedowns and she's getting beat up on the feet, will she be able to dig deep? But I got to go with Amorim in this one though. even though I do think Viana is a good dog. She's just been more active, you know. Last fought in September, tons of momentum right now, 3-fight winning streak, 3 finishes. So I'm gonna go Jaqueline Amorim to get this one done by submission in the first round. Thanks.